I think the main kind of reason behind marriage is showing you're super committed. You're signing a deal with each other.
Starting a family.
You're signing a deal saying, hey, I'm going to stick with you. You're going to stick with me. And we're going to start a family and bring kids into a safe relationship. The night we met was 5 years ago to this day.
Yes, it was. It was the 5-year anniversary.
Yeah. All right, guys, today we have a very special guest. We have my fiancée, my wife-to-be, my life partner. We have the one and only Linda Smyth.
So hello, I'm finally on the pod.
Yeah, we've been waiting a while to do this. The last couple of months have been crazy, to say the least. Even the last year, we've been building a villa, we've been traveling all around, and we haven't had the chance to sit down. And now here we are. So Linda, before we get into things, what is your background? How did we meet? What are your hobbies and interests? Tell the people a little bit of the Linda Smyth backstory.
So I'm obviously from Kildare, or I'm from Ireland as well as Rob, but I'm from Kildare and Rob is from Dublin. I grew up in Kildare and then I went and studied in art college in Dublin. So I have my design degree. And after college, I moved to Melbourne in Australia. And then following Melbourne, I moved to London, both where I worked as a makeup artist. So that kind of fell under my arty side, my degree. I studied design for stage and screen, so I loved anything film, fashion based. Worked in fashion for a while and found that super interesting and a big passion of mine. So then I started my own fashion brand, A Girl to Die For, and I also help with the design of the villa. So design, fashion would be my main interests, and I also love the gym, traveling, food, and Rob.
She's just the dream wife. She's just the dream wife.
Yeah.
And so me and Linda, we met at a house party, but not just any house party, my house party. And so I was throwing just a small one. There's like 20 people there in an apartment in Dunleary. And we've got so many mutual friends.
We do.
And we've known of each other for years.
I used to see Rob viewing my Instagram story for years before we ever met. I saw you.
And there's a photo from like 2011. And
Rob liked the photo.
We can scroll back on Instagram and it's like Rob Lipsett like this, but I didn't follow.
No,
I was playing it cool. I was too afraid to follow. And so we had loads of mutual friends and they asked, hey Rob, I hear you're having a few people over. Can we bring our friend Linda? And it's so funny that like, you think, oh yeah, whatever. I was like, I'll bring her up. I didn't put 2 + 2 together like that. This was the Linda.
I was home from London, I think, for only I think it was 2 days. I hadn't actually visited home in Ireland for like 2 years. And I came home and like, what are the chances that the literal night I get home that this is going on? But it was my friends, Kate and Lauren. So you knew them for
many years. And so they brought Linda over and it was love at first sight.
Yeah.
I actually was like besotted.
We actually didn't even kiss or anything that night. We just like talked and laughed so much, which is like the basis of our relationship. It's all about laughter and very fun. So we got along so well. And then after that night, I went back to London. And Rob was over doing a creator agency event and he was speaking in London. So I met you in Chelsea and we had some dinner with some of my mutual friends. Yep. Well, some of my friends I brought you and broke the ice a little bit.
And so it was like it started very casual and then we just started to really like each other. And it gets better. The night we met was 5 years ago to this day.
Yes, it was. It was the 5-year anniversary.
Yeah, so. Well, no, so 5 years to this day we met and then we started officially going out a couple months later, but let's just round it off.
Let's round it off.
I presume we're going to be with each other in 2 months.
Yes.
When this podcast goes up, disaster happens. But so that is the backstory of how we met. And another funny one as well, okay? So I had a collaboration with a Maldives resort. Nice. Okay, shout out Kandima, been there like 2-3 times or something. It's just absolutely amazing. It's perfect. And so I'm single and I get this collaboration. You don't go to the Maldives if you're a guy on your own.
Over the group of guys.
Over the group of lads. That is the most suspect looking thing. You'll just not have a good time. It is strictly a couple's place. There's very few places on the world, like maybe Santorini be another one where I would not go, on my own or with a group of guys. But Maldives is 100% you do not go on your own. You go as a couple. 100% of the guests there are as a couple.
Yeah.
So I had this collaboration. I'm going on my own. I said this is going to suck. So we're going out like...
I'm like, the Maldives nice.
We're going out a month. And I'm like, so, you know, come to the Maldives next month.
Yeah, that was
And
great.
of course, that will go down very well with any girl. So that was pretty much our first, not our first
I
date.
think we went to Paris first because I got the Eurostar from London to Paris.
Yeah.
And then after that, because obviously Rob lived in Dublin and I lived in London. So we had to find a way to just maybe see each other.
Yeah.
And then eventually you moved over to London for a year. So
And then we moved to Marbella. So that was like perfect timing with the collaboration and everything. But a really good topic now that we're on this is long distance. Now, I know Dublin and London isn't that long. If for anyone Americans listening or anything, it's like, I think it's a 50-minute flight.
And I guess I have my house in Ireland.
And you have a house in Ireland. So I wasn't true long distance compared to other people. But Linda, what would you recommend long distance couples do?
I'm like, I don't recommend
I don't recommend it.
I guess like, there is situations where like, I think I would never start a long distance relationship with someone if I wasn't like being realistic.
Yeah.
Like, is there a chance of this actually working out? So for me and you, because Ireland is my second home and like London is so close, it kind of worked. And I think after I moved out of my apartment, I went home to Ireland for a little bit and we lived in the Beacon.
Yeah.
So it was all very relative to each other. I think a lot of people have jobs where they need to travel a lot and just basically staying in touch and video calling, maybe just like planning exciting things for the next time you see each
I
other
would say
to keep,
planning
like,
out
yes.
the calendar year.
Yes.
Like you got to put in work to have something planned like every single month. But just going to be real with you guys, 95% people, you just find someone nearby. The world is a big place, you know, unless you're living in a town with 10 people, you'll probably find a good match. But I always forget, I'm like, we were almost in a long distance relationship.
Yeah,
for like maybe like 2 or 3 months. And then we've been pretty much inseparable ever since. And so going on from that, I like to do my podcast in chronological order. So we did our year in London, which was amazing. Not just like for me, like I met so many new people. I love London.
Yeah.
We had so much fun. It was lockdown, but we still had like the best crack ever.
We did. We had picnics in Battersea.
Picnics and like there was a few
movie
social
nights.
gatherings. I think that's what they called them in the weird lockdown era. But we had a great year. But we also said, realistically, we're not going to settle down here. We're not going to raise a family here. We're not going to buy here.
Yeah, I think you do your time in London and then that's like enough.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. Yeah.
You do your time, you experience it all, and then you kind of move on. And then so it was January 1st, 2021. We said, okay, gyms are closed in London. It was still in that semi-lockdown place. I said, why am I paying Kensington rent for a lockdown city? Dublin was like turbo lockdown. Like old curtain twitchers.
Yes.
Ultra lockdown. All the gyms are closed. So we said, where in Europe have we both been to before? I know it very well. Gyms are open. Life seems normal. Is in the EU. So, you know, we can pass freely.
Has a beach.
Has gyms. We know people there. International community. And when you tick all those boxes, there's one place in Europe. And that is Marbella. Yeah, it's the Marbs. And then so we moved here just for we got a monthly Airbnb. And then we end up purchasing Villa Lipsett. So tell us, what do you think of the villa now? What's it like living here with me?
It's just so good. It kind of feels like a big studio. And we've made it for such like an airy, minimalist house. We've made it feel very homely. So by the furniture choices, like we chose lots of like wood and beautiful curtains. But we have a lot to finish off. Mainly the outdoor we have to finish, but we just love it so much.
Yeah, and Linda was creative director of it.
She did the entire thing.
Yeah, you got to have a woman's touch in here to make things go smoothly.
Me and Pinterest.
Yeah, no, honestly, and like my Instagram Explore page is just like interior decor. And and we literally just showed it to our builders. We're like, just do this. I don't even think we had an architect.
No, we didn't. They said we did, and we were like, we've never met him.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, yeah, he's in the back somewhere. So challenges that we've faced in the last couple of years and what has helped us, you know, grow as a couple. I think on the topic, the house.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing more ancestral than building a home.
And I think with the house came like, there's always going to be a little bit of stress and like putting other things on pause. Like basically the house kind of for the last year was like a main focus, especially if I was like working a lot with designing it. And Rob like didn't have an office. We didn't even have wardrobes till maybe like a month ago.
Yeah.
So I think with the house came just like a lot of moving around, a lot of kind of uncertainty of when we could move in. We were in like different Airbnbs, maybe doing a couple of trips, going back to Ireland, just waiting for it to be finished. So it's a nice relief now that it's finally done, and very rewarding feeling.
Yeah, that's why we're like, doing this podcast now. Like, I know we'll get on to the engagement soon, but it's like, I know we got engaged in, what was it, September?
Yes.
No, August.
It was the end of August.
It was the end of August. And then we came back for September. Then we pretty much traveled all of October.
Yeah.
So the last like 3 months has kind of seemed like 1 month. Like we actually haven't had the chance to sit down and do this. So it's lovely to be able to do this now. And so also last year we were moving around so much. Like that was a stressful challenge. Like living out of a suitcase. That was definitely kind of a strange transitionary period of our lives.
I think everyone goes through like a strange period. That was just one of ours, I think.
Yeah, and especially like when building a house, it's like a life event. It's going to be stressful, but it's definitely been worth it.
So worth it.
Like, how happy are we here now?
Yeah, I think like I can also envision like lots of fun things. Like basically I've had a few of my friends stay. I've had Kate and Joanna stay. You've had other friends over. You've had your big event.
Yeah.
But I can just envision a lot of good memories happening here, be it with barbecues with our families or like little events we'll put on and just more guests. And it's really, we had Rob's family here the other day for like a big meal and it was just so nice.
Yeah, and so my 2 sisters, I got 3 sisters, 2 of them were here. And they both have kids.
Yeah.
And so there's 2 kids running around. So there were 6 people. First time we've actually filled this table up. There were 6 people here. And I was like, Linda, we can crank out a few kids. And there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room.
It's a large bench.
I still need to do the final tour, but like this house is way too big for just 2 of us. So we need to fill it up.
Okay.
And we'll get to kids and marriage later on. But now we got to talk about the proposal. Okay. So setting the scene.
Our favorite holiday, I think.
Favorite holiday. How would you describe it?
See, right. I think when we go on trips, sometimes we usually do like a month, but because this was like, it wasn't a week, it was actually 5 days.
Yeah.
And
5 days.
we had all the like plans made. It was like a very holiday mode. Whereas if we go away on other trips, sometimes there's big gyms we're going to.
Content every day.
Yeah, we're like doing other things.
Calls nonstop.
Yeah, we really just clocked off for this and like really enjoyed ourselves. It was very holiday mode. And I had been to Capri maybe when I was like 7, so I couldn't really remember it. Rob had never been, so it kind of felt like the first time that me and you had went somewhere, bar Mexico, that neither of us had kind of experienced together.
Yeah,
so.
Which is also, funnily enough, have been our all-time favorite trips.
All-time favorite
trips. So maybe there's something to be said about going somewhere you both haven't gone.
Both have never been, Yeah.
And so we did 3 days in Positano. Where do we stay? We got to give people some info.
We stayed in, what was the name of the first accommodation?
I'll put it on the screen, but it was like 4.
The guy was so nice.
Yeah.
It was like a restaurant underneath, which is highly rated.
Yeah.
And the view from the balcony was just spectacular. It was also in a really good location. If you want to walk in and out to Positano town, it was like the perfect location and the perfect view.
Yeah. And it was like, was not expensive either.
Yeah.
Like it was, I definitely balled out a little bit.
Something sweets.
Yeah, something sweet. So we'll put it on the screen and we'll put some clips of it on the screen, but it was absolutely amazing. So we did 3 days there, or was it 4 days?
We done 3 there and then 3 in Hotel Weber.
Yeah, well, wait, hold on. So I got a story. Okay, so AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry and literally billions of dollars are being invested, so buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you do want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/gameplan. That's oracle.com/gameplan. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed. I had the ring on me, and it came in this massive box.
You got it from?
Bespoke Diamonds,
Yes.
Bespoke Jewelers in just off Grafton Street. What's the name of the street?
I think it's like Wicklow. No, it's not Wicklow.
Yeah, well, anyways, Bespoke Diamonds, it's in town. If you Google it, it'll come up straight away, and they're so professional. I was very worried going picking it up, walking through town with it, and like kind of, you know, just choosing it and everything. But they helped me so much. It was like...
You had an idea of what I
had-
like.
Linda told me about it 100 times. But anyways, right.
I was like, oval shape, gold band.
I had the ring. I had it in a really big box, and I like had to shove it into one of my shoes. Like my shoe was like shaped like a square, and then I hid that in my suitcase. And you know, when we get to a hotel, you just open the suitcase and leave it in the corner. And so for the first 3 days, I was like, you know, when am I going to do it? I actually thought I was going to do it.
I was going to pack for you as well.
Oh yeah, and I was like, get away from the back. But I thought I was going to do it on the last night in Positano, and I don't know why. I just bottled it. You know, didn't feel like the right moment. And then
I think I was slightly hungover, so you were like, I don't want her to be doing this.
you don't want to be in it. But so either way, I always knew Capri would be like the peak of the holiday, like
Like a magical spot.
it's just a magical spot. Like it looks like almost like Thailand with the mountains and everything. It's like exotic. And so we got to Capri, we were blown away. Night one, we were in such a giddy mood.
Yeah,
we
we
just
were.
checked into a new hotel. We had insane views. Like the views were crazy.
It was of like the main area.
Marina
Yeah.
Piccolo.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. And we only realized that was like the spot to
Yeah.
go to after we left and started looking up like articles on Capri. And then we were getting ready to go out. This is so good. I love talking about it. We're getting ready to go out, and we were taking photos, as we do. We love taking photos of each other. We always just prop up the tripod like what we're doing right now. And
It's just the easiest and most convenient way. And like,
I hate asking
Yeah.
people for
Yeah.
photos. One, it's just
yeah.
wrong.
But they're like,
Yeah, and two, it's like we're like all like manhandling each other. I'm like, I don't want to put someone through this.
yeah.
So anyways, prop up the tripod, have the view, and instead of putting it on timer, I put it on record. So the whole thing is like recording. And then I go, hey, look, I got something that'll make this way better. And so Linda's like, what's it going to be? Oh my God, is it
I thought it was going to be Aperol.
Aperol? She thought it was going to be, we were on our Aperol buzz for that
Oh,
trip.
Jesus, we were.
And so then I just come out with the ring and got down on one knee. I'm trying to remember. What did I say?
Yes.
Yeah, what did I say?
I think you basically, so we
started crying
Well, no,
almost.
first of all, I started bursting out laughing.
Yeah.
So did you.
Yeah, which is, I really like.
Yeah, like I want, I can't, like it was just all so funny.
Like,
I
we
couldn't
were
believe
like,
it was happening.
we were like, this is like so happy.
Yeah.
Is we were like laughing with happiness.
Yeah,
and
we really-
like we were getting giddy, and we were like, oh my God, we're actually doing this. Whereas like I would hate if we were like, you know, like,
No,
you know, I
yeah.
just find it hard to watch. I found it like nice and light and easy
Yeah.
going to watch. We started laughing.
I think I saw you coming towards me. So in the video, like you can see that I'm like fixing my dress. That I could see him coming through, and I could like there was no hiding the box. So I was like, I knew it was just about to happen. So I was just like, oh, like it was brilliant.
And then, yeah, I just said, I love you so much.
Yeah, it was like I love you so much. You gave me a little talk about just how much I meant to you.
Yeah.
And about the future, and then
We got it done. And then afterwards, oh, guys,
The lobster pasta.
wait, we'll slow down now, right? Ultra giddy mood.
Yeah. I
Like,
think I changed dress because I was like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm going to spill something on this if I wear this.
yeah, you were wearing a white one and then you got into a pink dress
Yeah.
and then we went out. And then so ultimate giddy mood, literally in the best mood ever. We just walked, or we got a taxi into town, walked around and just went to a random spot with
And
you.
the photographer, we actually were having a little cocktail. It was like this kind of lookout point at the sunset in Capri. And it just happened that there was this photographer there. He took a picture of us and he was like, come back in about maybe 2 hours and I'll have a studio where you can select the photos. We selected them like way later in the night, and we woke up the next morning and we don't even remember what they look like. They forgot about us and we had to call back to the studio. What was it, like a day or two later, and have a look for the photos. But they turned out really, really well. I think we thought that was all we had of like the engagement, and it wasn't for maybe a day or two after when we looked at the video. We were like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad we left it a little bit as well.
we didn't like look at the video on the day or even the day after. I told my family, I think we told my mom the night of the actual engagement, and then we filled the rest of our family and friends in the next day.
Yeah. And then we did the post on like Sunday or something. And like, I hate to be one that like, you know, lives for social media and all this, but get like everyone saying well done and congratulating you.
You're getting nice messages and like catching up with people that you wouldn't have caught up with in a while and talking to them about it. It's fun.
Yeah, so that was amazing. And we just went home back to Ireland to see our families, just in like the best mood ever. So now, a great question. So why get married? What's the point of it all? I think... So it's like, you know, what changes once you say, will you marry me? And I do and all that, okay? And it's a piece of paper. I think the main kind of reason behind marriage is showing you're super committed. You're signing a deal with each other.
Starting a family.
You're signing a deal saying, hey, I'm going to stick with you. You're going to stick with me. And we're going to start a family and bring kids into a safe relationship. I think that's the main reason. Yeah. It's just literally saying you're committed. And I think I saw Jordan Peterson say this. He was like, they're hard to get out of for a reason.
Yes.
Like if you have an argument and you instead of saying like, let's say you're dating someone and you have an argument, you just leave it. You just ghost them. But if you're married and you have an argument, you're like, all right, we're going to work through this. Yeah. So I think that's the main reason and benefit behind marriage is just showing you're committed and raising a family. And so now onto the family. Kids, what do you want, Linda? How many? Girl, boy?
Ideally, I'd love 2 kids, but 3, maybe 4, if that happens. I think I'd be happy with 2.
Yeah.
I'd love 2 girls, but...
I'd love 2 boys. But yeah, we'll flip the coin and see where we land. And what do you think, okay, right, so we've been together 5 years now. Do you think there's a date where you can be like, okay, let's get married? Do you think there's a certain time, or when it's right, is it right?
I think when it's right, it's right. I also think that there should be a certain time. Like, I think a year is quite short. I think it depends on how old you are as well. Yeah. But I think anywhere past 2 years, if it's the right person and you really, really know.
Yeah. And late 20s, 30s, then like...
I wouldn't recommend like a 21-year-old being with someone for 2 years. Be like, okay, let's go.
You're literally kids at 21. But so late 20s, 30s, 3-year mark is ideal.
Yes.
And really the longer the better. Yeah. So, I think we were pretty safe and responsible.
With 5.
Like,
almost 5.
Yeah, almost. 4 and 10 months. So I think if you've been with each other a good few years, she's wifey material, lock her down. And now, also, one thing I want to ask is, to you guys, the listeners, what are your proposal stories? How did it make you feel? Drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear some feedback. And have you any advice for getting married as well? Because, look, let's be real, there's some disastrous marriage stories. 50%,
We're entering like the wedding planning realm. Yeah. And it's very daunting, I think. So we'd love all the information and advice on the wedding.
Yeah, so 3 comments to leave down below. Any wedding planning tips or tricks that you guys have, your experience with marriage and your experience with proposal. Be a very educational comment section. So now we are on to future plans, and that is the wedding. When is the wedding going to be, Linda?
So we were trying to decide, are we going to do 2024 or 2025? I know we want a small Marbella wedding. I think that's pretty like set in stone. And I've decided who my bridesmaids are. I've decided, I think, roughly how many people we want, what kind of dress I want. We're just trying to decide when, really. And I think it's looking more like it'll be at the start or end of summer, be it in May or else in September, October, just because it gets really, really hot here during the summer months and very busy. So we'll have it either before or after summer, whatever year we choose. So we're just trying to decide the year.
And small or big wedding?
Small enough. Yeah. Like, I think once...
Like 80 to 100.
Yeah, 80 to 100. Is that small? Is that big?
Yeah, we don't really know. But so I think it was like Alex Hormozy or someone just put a good quote up, and it's like, if you're like splurging on a big wedding before like reinvesting into yourself and like, a house and a car and everything, like you've got it backwards. Like at the end of the day, it's just like a 1-day event. So, obviously we're going to have a really nice wedding, but some people go over the top.
Yes. And they kind of put themselves like in debt. Yeah. I've been in readings. Like I've kind of just like opened a new whole like chapter. I'm like, this is amazing what can happen to people with their wedding planning, and they just go too far.
No. we were like we were thinking about having one in Tulum with 10 people.
Seriously, yeah.
I'm like, we get Christian Max to fly down from Texas. That's about it. But we were thinking, like, you know, there's something nice about having a little barefoot wedding on the beach.
Barefoot.
Yeah, a little barefoot wedding on the beach in Tulum.
Yeah.
But most likely it's going to be in Marbella. We're going to utilize the villa. Like, this is bigger than any restaurant, really, especially the outdoors.
This would be great, I think, for like a day 2 barbecue or something. There's also so many nice venues, not even just on the beach, but there's so many nice mountainous venues in Marbella that like look like a possibility.
Yeah.
And I think I've started writing the list of who I want to invite. And so has Rob.
I have to be extra nice to Linda, guys.
Yes. So we have it all, kind of an idea. I know we want a DJ over a band.
Yeah.
We want, you know, little like details. I know what kind of flowers I want and what colors and stuff. It's just about kind of putting it all in place.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing.
I think, you know, day one, you just have the main event, you know, sit down meal.
I don't think I'd have do you know, the welcome dinner? I'm like, I will wake up hungover if I have a welcome dinner.
No. You just have, you know, the day event, you rock up, you know, everyone sits down, you do the church, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you go, you have fun, sit down meal, you know, drinks, whatever, and then go out, whatever
Then a
you
nice
want.
barbecue the next day. We go to play a padre.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah.
Favorite spot to go out.
Yeah, on a Sunday as well.
It's on a Sunday, so it works out
that's
for
what we'll do. And like, you know, again, we know everyone in Mosh, you know, we could sort out a deal. And that's it. And look, if there's anyone who has any connections with wedding venues in Marbella, please hit us up. We'd love to chat. But that is probably going to be in what, May?
It'll be in May or September. We've definitely decided the months, and it could be next year. It could be 2025.
Yeah.
We will have to wait and see.
Yeah, we're fine. Like, so another good tip I heard is when you're engaged, prolong that engagement period.
Build the hype.
Yeah, build the hype and, you know, enjoy kind of like the buzz behind planning it. Because when you're married, it's all over. Joking. But no, it is a kind of fun time being engaged. So
we've been loving it so far.
Yeah.
Any like restaurant we go to, Rob's like, show the ring.
Yeah, I was like, don't drink those, give us a free drink. It's still a tip. Free drinks for the next year and a half. Dreams and aspirations. What, as an engaged couple, is our dreams and aspirations going forward? I think
so far we've accomplished one of our dreams. I always wanted to kind of contribute to the design of a home and somewhere we can call our own, and we have that now in Marbella. We're pretty happy here, and I think like for the foreseeable we will base ourselves in Marbella, but it would be nice. Like I have my home, my family home in Ireland, but it would be nice for me and Rob to have our own family home in Ireland. Where we could spend a majority of the year and also have this place.
We love Ireland.
We love Ireland.
Just be honest.
Yeah, all my friends are there, and like I can't wait. We're going home again at Christmas, and we do really love Ireland.
Yeah, like
it's a great novelty, even though it wears off pretty quickly. But it's a great novelty being home when we are home.
Yeah, we love sitting on the couch watching RT.
Yes.
So we absolutely love Ireland in small doses.
Yes, the novelty wears off pretty quickly.
Yeah, but no, we do love it. And so our goal, like our dream life setup is we have the house here in Marbella, a nice house in Ireland, and that's pretty much it. You know, we have our businesses going, we're able to travel freely. And I also I think if you have 3 properties, let's say you have a property in Marbella, Dubai, and Ireland, you could just rent 2 out. When you're in one, and then is that not a life hack? You just live for free forever? Is that how property developers do it?
Dublin, we'd love a house in Dublin. Maybe in like the next decade. We're not in any rush.
Not in any rush, yeah. And Dublin prices are absolutely insane. So another house in Ireland, kids, and a nice big Jeep. Yeah, that's us.
You'll be getting your Jeep soon.
But maybe if more people tune into the podcast and I upload more YouTube videos, then we'll easily get a Jeep, a nice Defender. That's what I'd love. This is the biggest one. This is the big question. Tips and practices that have helped you maintain a strong and healthy relationship. And think about it. Do you know anyone who's been I'm sure you know a few, but not many. You don't know many people who've been in a 5-year relationship.
Yeah, I mean,
it's pretty rare.
Yeah. My best friend Lauren, her and Keith have been together quite some time. My sister, who's now married, I guess I know a couple of people, and I think the key to a long-term relationship is obviously having a lot of fun, planning date nights, and also being a realist. So if things aren't perfect all the time, you work on those things. Don't expect everything to be like magic, or if you fight, you have to break up.
Yeah.
Like you have to be real with the person, communicate super well, and be patient and loyal and honest.
And communication, honesty is always the best thing ever. No sneaking around, there's people hiding their phones and don't allow that relationship.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, so weird.
Yeah.
You need to be just completely open, honest communication, loyal, dedicated, and on each other's team.
And showing interest in each other. Like I show a lot of interest when Rob is like maybe recording for YouTube, or if I'm designing something for my brand, we'll always make sure to show interest. And that's like the most important thing you can do. And making quality time, doing date nights quite often, hugely important.
Hugely important. Yeah. So like as soon as you and your girlfriend, your other half, you start becoming mates, not good. No. You need to never be
buds.
We're buds, but we're not mates. You need to always, keep the girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband and wife dynamic, and keep things romantic. And another one, personally for me, maybe call me shallow Al, right? Personally for me, I think you got to keep standards high. Like Linda's in insane shape. She's like a fitness model. Like, she puts in the work for me. And I want to look good for her. Yeah, and for you. And so I want to look good for her. She wants to look good for me. We want to put our best foot forward and put our best selves for each other. And so as soon as, like, of course we, walk around in our pajamas and stuff. But as soon as you
there's a messy bun every night.
There's a messy bun. And like, as soon as you stop putting in an effort for each other, you need to wind things back and say, okay, who else? Who do I want to impress?
And I think having the date nights kind of, you glam up quite often, and they remember why they like you.
We do, but now this month we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing November. So
November. We're saying no to everything. There's nothing on, so we're doing a month of just like recording, gymming hard, working hard. But on average, like let's say in the summer we do like a date night every Saturday, and we love it.
Yeah, date night like twice a week during the summer, because in Marbella there's just so much happening, and like there's always good things on in the summer. I think the winter time here is the perfect time to kind of hibernate. It's raining today, so that's perfect.
Yeah. And so another one, how do you get into a good, strong relationship? Like, how do you pick the right person?
I think someone who makes you laugh. I think like that's going to be something that is forever. Whereas like obviously looks is quite temporary, but I think someone who can really like to the core make you really, really laugh, and that you can be comfortable and be yourself around. Always choose someone like that, and who likes you for you, who doesn't like try and change you.
Yeah. Linda, you're nailing these answers. You're killing it. Okay, so wrapping things up before we go into the audience questions, what is our favorite memory with each other? I got a few.
I think we always have our favorite memories on a travel-y trip, because it's when we do things out of the norm. I remember one time we were in Joshua Tree, and we had a beautiful barbecue like in the middle of the desert in the Airbnb, and they had this kind of like bathtub. It was like out underneath the stars. They also had like a boat. I think it was converted into like this big kind of like couch thing. Yeah. And we just lay there like looking at the stars and chatting and like laughing loads. And it was like one of my favorite memories.
Yeah, it was like just out of a movie.
Just the whole Joshua Tree trip always is one of my favorite memories. And then also a lot of Mexico memories from our Tulum trip.
It was amazing. That was like proper travel.
Very
like,
surreal.
We didn't know what we were doing. It was crazy. It was proper like the movie, The Beach.
Yeah,
like, it was like that. And I think like I'm a man who's done a lot of things in life. Like I've pretty much experienced everything. I don't know what else there's not another floor for me to go up to. Really, being on the jet, the yacht, the best thing in life. Having a beautiful girl that loves you. Traveling the world.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better high than that.
Yeah, we do love to travel.
We do. Of course, everyone does, And so, yeah, that's probably some of our fondest memories together. And I also loved, there was a moment that for some reason it's just sticking out in my mind when we were in Santorini and we were in Cabo to go, and we were just watching like the most insane sunset. There's like a violin playing, and you're just like,
those surreal moments.
Surreal moments like that are just absolutely insane. And here's to many more. And here's to many more. All right, guys. So time for some quick fire questions from you, the audience. So let's get through these. I say quick fire, but they'll probably last a little bit longer. So 1, how important is it to have common interests in a relationship? And what do you do if you don't have money?
Well, we both love the gym.
Yeah.
We really
just a generally active, healthy
I think I always had I loved going to the gym quite often, and like always had a membership, but I never actually took it as serious as I did until I met Rob, because he educated me a lot more on it. And now it's like part of my daily routine now, where it was just something that I do the odd time before I met Rob. And I think
Linda, by the way, is like fitness industry standard.
Well, I think like over the last like maybe 3 years, it's kind of just
like your squat's coming up to like 70 kg, you know all about your amazing cook, you know, your actual genetics and physique, crazy.
Thank you, Rob.
No worries. But yeah, no, Linda puts a lot of personal trainers to shame.
We have a lot of common interests, but I mean, finding them in a relationship, I mean, it's easier to meet the people that you're supposed to be with if you're meeting them through common interests.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't say like, you know, so someone asks, what do you do if you don't have money? Don't get with the person. You know, you're just off.
It's supposed to be a little bit different sometimes as well.
Yeah, but you have to have like your overall lifestyle, I think, has to
Rob, I think you made a point recently. You were like, I don't know if it would work if I was with someone who didn't understand social media, because that's like a huge part of who you are.
Very true. Like, you know, not only being on camera, but like helping me with photos, videos, and everything. Recording. Like, you know, and even this episode right here. So that's also a big one for me, is to kind of like, you know, you don't have to be an influencer with 1 million followers. Like, just be with someone who understands social media. Yeah. Like, if you're on a trip and you start vlogging. Yeah.
Well, I think I was definitely a little bit like awkward in the vlogs at maybe the start, or like talking on camera. And now here I am today on a podcast. Exactly. I think I've came far.
Very true. And so, what is your advice for maintaining a relationship when both partners are extremely busy? We are the wrong person to ask, because we are with each other 24/7. We're extremely busy, but like we don't have to go apart.
No.
You know, everything I do is like completely remote. You know, I don't have an hour in the day, but we're always beside each other. So what would you do if someone like, you know, they both had very full-time jobs, very full-on jobs?
I mean, just make time when you're not doing the busy work to see the person and check in with them in the little while of the day that you have that isn't busy. Make sure that they know they mean a lot to you, and that's kind of the best thing you can do. I mean, in a lot of jobs can be so full on, and I completely get that.
I would say same advice if you're in a long distance relationship. Plan out the whole year.
Yeah.
You know, like, because
have things to look forward to is a very good one.
Yeah, that's like, you know, just a life hack. And it's like, if you're in a long distance relationship, and you also have, like, let's say you both work like 9 to 9, like, you know, you're more or less in a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
You don't see each other, you know? So it's just so important to plan out, you know, those events far in advance. So what's the best way to support a partner going through a tough time without feeling overwhelmed yourself? So best way to support a partner going through a tough time. That's a great question.
I mean, just be kind and be a good listener is always the best thing. I think listening can do more than like what you say. It's just they want someone to talk to, I suppose, when they're going through it.
Yeah, sometimes it's important to just have someone there to
just actually, because like sometimes if Rob's going through like a really stressful situation, he'll like voice it to me, and he'd be like, if there was no one here, I'd just be completely silent, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, it's good to just have a nice, someone to just listen and take it all in and advise you.
And it's also great, like, especially from a man's point of view, to have like a very nice feminine nurturing woman, you know, to just be a simp too for a little bit, to just be a weakling too. I'm a little cry in the shoulder. One of us don't do that tough. So that, just be there for each other and be a listener. Next up, do you think it's important to have relationship goals? If so, how do you set them? Yes, of course. Like, you know, like what we're talking about, we want the house in Ireland. We want 2.5 kids. You know, we want 1.5. We want you know, a nice Jeep. We want to, like, you know, travel more. We want to be in getting our best shape ever. You know, we want to both like be as productive as possible. I definitely think like this has come from me, because this is just the way I am. Like, you know, I'm planning everything to a T. I think the whole point of life is having goals and working towards them. And it's not necessarily hitting them. It's just having something to work towards. Because if you wake up every day and you have nothing to aim for, you're literally lost. Think about those words: aim, lost. If you don't have something to aim for, you
don't know where to.
You just don't know what to do, and you're going to get depressed. You're going to, you know, your mindset is not going to be good. And so having goals in business, goals in life, goals in your relationship, extremely important. Always have something to work towards. Yeah. But understand that the best part is is the work towards.
Yes.
It's not the end goal, you know, because when you get the end goal, you set some more and keep going and living life. So yes, have relationship goals. And then the last question, what are some red flags to look out for in a relationship? There's actually there's a few dating coaches I follow, even like How to Beast, you know. We need to go see his villa soon.
Yeah.
Has done like full videos on this. But one that pops into my head is if she has no long-term relationships with her friends.
Oh, with her friends.
With her friends, like if she's always moving friend group, you know,
Yes.
something going on there. Linda's had her like friends forever.
Actually, my bridesmaids, like this,
friends
we're
ever.
choosing, like, I'm going to choose 4 friends and then 2 family members. So my sister and one of Rob's sisters, and then the rest are going to be 4 of my friends.
Yeah.
And they've all been like solid parts of my life for a super, super long time.
So that's one. Another one is a relationship with their father. Yeah, that's how they view men. That's the most common one that
Love
like
my
everyone's
dad.
heard of. Her dad loves me. Great relationship. Thanks be to God. Another one for me is just someone who disregards their health and fitness. I think health and fitness is the most important thing in the world. If a girl does not stay in shape and she neglects her health and fitness, from an evolutionary standpoint, it's actually unattractive because you're like, oh, how's this person? We're automatically unattractive to people who are unhealthy because they're like, how are we going to carry on our life, our genetics, our offspring? So that for me is a huge one. And someone who talks ill of other people, you know, just bitches about other people, that's not a good one.
The father one, like if someone had a dad who like left or a dad who
Of
done
course,
something, that is like, or a dad who like wasn't great to their mother.
Yeah, well,
that's completely
of course
understandable.
reasons
I'm
why.
lucky I have a good relationship with my father, but I think, yes, I can see, you know.
Yeah, and so they are probably my top 3. There's another one I've seen, having a woman that competes with you. That's the one I'm not sure well, you certainly don't. You like support me. But having someone who's always trying to like get one up on you in the relationship, I've read that's a really terrible trait to have. And let's see if I can think of one more.
I guess dishonest or like trying to be like secretive or, you know, not being completely real.
Yes, that's probably number 1. And then
someone who doesn't post you on Instagram.
Yeah, I know. I hate the way that is a thing. But
but like someone who like, no, right? If the other if both of you aren't doing it, but if one person is actively showing you off or like, you know, the other person is being weird about it, that is kind of strange.
Actually, Joe,
nowadays,
Mike and Sadia Khan, the relationship psychologist, they made a good quote. They're like, if you're in a relationship in person, you're also in a relationship online. Yeah. Just how it is. So I think that's also one as well. So any ones you want to throw in?
I think that was my only one, yeah.
There we go. So guys, hope you enjoyed this podcast with the one and only Linda Smyth. Really enjoyed it as well. It's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but it's raining outside.
We're going to go get some sushi at my favorite spot.
We're going to go get some sushi, chill out for a little bit, and hope you enjoyed listening to this nice, relaxing podcast.
It is. Maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Maybe we will do round 2 soon. Anyways, right here. Keep it real. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure you are subscribed on every platform. I will see you in the next one. Game Plan is back.